Wait, I don't want to hear my own thing. Maybe when I go live, I'll be okay. No. I got sound playing from somewhere. There we go. Alrighty. Yeah, dude. Ratchet and Clank, it's the best. I'm seeing stars. I'm seeing red stars right now. I'm coughing too much. Usually I see them and they're like black stars. Now they're red. Oh, I gotta get this out of the way here. Oh, thanks. I do like this setup quite a bit. All right, green on. Hello, everybody. It's me. Today I'm gonna be making a couple more pots. got 3 more for you. I feel like I should just skip that because I just do this every day. I feel like I don't even need to say hello, everybody. I think I should just like start by getting into it. I normally will play the intro, but today I won't play the intro just because I feel like sometimes it's not really necessary. But I'm gonna go over there in just a second, so I'll see you guys in a moment. Green off. Camera C. All right, so we got one of the chunks right here. Camera B. Okay. Oh, wait, I'm missing some things. I got my wire tool. All right, I gotta be careful of my coughing. I really had to. Could you imagine? I just cough too much and then all of a sudden I just pass out in the middle of the stream. That'd be terrible. All right, I have this out in the front here. Oh yeah, I forgot to turn off camera C. So come with me for a second, y'all. So this camera, even though it's connected, it's still battery operated. It doesn't charge while filming. Jeez, I really wish I would have got a water or something. I'm freaking out. Okay, here we go. Camera A. Let's see. Let's push this down ever so slightly here. That's all I'm doing, is just trying to get it as close to center as possible for you before I even start, right? Maybe I could turn up the Ratchet and Clank music just a tad. I feel like, you know, Ratchet and Clank for me is like one of those games where I feel like it really influences me, but I haven't examined it yet. Like, I don't know why, but I feel like I could trace a lot of my, like the way I think and the way I navigate a space back to Ratchet and Clank. Even music that I like. There's something about the music in Ratchet and Clank that just is like pristine. Anyway, camera B. Camera B. Thank you. Yeah. Again, I'm pushing this forward and I have both my hands. It's that push past and pull back, right? That's what's really giving me the ability to keep that center there. You know, a lot of people use their fingers. I'm always using my palm and my body weight, right? If you end your day of throwing off and you're like, your upper body is sore, you know, I feel like you're not using your body weight enough. So I got that pretty much centered there. Maybe not perfect, so I'll do one more little thing. I was listening to the radio today, and the Detroit Tiger baseball game, they won by 1 run. Isn't that cool? I've been listening to the radio when I go to like work, right? And so a lot of people on the radio were saying like, they're like on the radio this morning, they were like, looking forward to the Tiger game. Did anybody's teachers ever like let them watch sports during school? And I thought it was just kind of like a funny little thing. My teachers never did that, but it was just kind of interesting seeing how hyped people get for baseball. I forget that like that's like I think hype for sports in general. I'm so disconnected from that environment, and so it's just kind of interesting seeing how hyped up people get, especially hyped up enough to have a whole radio channel about it. Okay. Anyway, I'm pushing this down ever so slightly. I think I got this opened up enough. Wow, really? My that cough is bad. Okay. Oh wait, maybe somebody said something. Hold on one moment, yo. Oh yeah. Dang. I just doxed myself. Shit. Yeah, I'm in Mish right now. Alright. Coming down on top, little llama pole, and I'm slowly bringing this in. Look at that. Nice. Wait a second. My sponge! Camera C? That's what I was forgetting. I forget my sponge sometimes. I ripped this off of one of my things over there the other day. Camera B? Okay. Right at the bottom. Knuckle pull. Knuckle right on the bottom here. Slightly pushing that in and slowly lifting this up. Alright. These first couple pulls are not for height. These first couple pulls, they are to try to get the clay as even as possible before we start. So this middle part, like I'm feeling that, and I'm going to give it some extra love, right? Because I could feel my fingers going and feeding into a channel rather than pushing the clay. The clay was pushing me. And whenever that happens, that's a kind of, you don't want that to happen, really. You want to be in control. Okay. So first, this is going to be our first normal pull for height. So I'm taking this clay, I'm pushing this down ever so slightly on this bottom here. Going right over top of my finger. And then say hello to the bump. And then start taking this bump up the side of the clay, right? That's all we're doing. And then as I'm getting to the top, I'm noticing that it's wanting to put a little bit more tension. So I want to go a little bit slower with my hand, you know? Maybe at the bottom I was going a little bit too fast. So I'm just trying to match that speed there, right? Every time you like hop on the wheel and you start messing around with the clay, it's going to like ask you to react with it a little bit differently, right? Awesome, there we go. So now we have this kind of more narrow cylinder here. Put a little bit of water in my arm. And then now we collar that in, we don't really want to do a height pull. We just want to almost compress that bump in between two of our fingers and just take that up, because sometimes when you collar, you're putting some tension on the clay and it's starting to torque, right? And then twist on that inside. I don't really know how to say torque. Torque? Torque or twerk? Sounds like I'm saying twerk. That's like my biggest fear is like one day if I ever get a bunch of people in here and I'm trying to say torque, and then everybody's just going to spam twerk in the comments. Alright. Somebody said something, I think. Davon Bryant. Yo. How you doing? I think you've been commenting on some of my stuff. So thank you for all those comments on my YouTube stuff. Alright. Hold on, let me get some water right on my arm here. And again, we're going to do one more pull maybe. Realistically, we shouldn't do this pull. But I want to kind of feel some tenseness. Plus this music right now is really hitting, so I got to match the music with my actions here. And so you can see that transition from that middle was not great, but we're still keeping the same bump. Okay. Sick. Alrighty. Hand at the bottom here. Take some of that water out of there. And then we're going to start with a little spiral on the bottom here. Take the spiral up. Take a breath. Slow it down. Pause. And let's make one more full rotation. So then you're not making that top really off center. We're going to start on the bottom here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6. Oh, got 6. Almost could fit a 7, but we're going to have to deal with the 6. Okay, on that top, and get ready for a twist here. A little bit of water on the inside here. Fingers coming out. And so this is where we got to be gentle. And I'm starting to feel a little bit of tension. Grab that sponge, set it on my fingers, try to get a bead of water on that ridge. Nice, going back in. And the thing is that I don't want to do is put too much tension to the point where I tear that middle off. I can feel an air bubble in this top rim. So I'm going to slowly settle. Oh wow, look, it's starting to sit. It was collapsing inward, so it started to really sit in there. And look at that tearing. Camera C? So maybe you guys can see maybe I have to go on this side for you to see the tearing. But look at all the tearing that's happening. Pretty interesting. You know, the clay was a little bit hard, but the majority of that tearing is probably happening because I'm using so much water. Oh, let's see, somebody's commenting some stuff. I'm chilling. This design is cool. Thanks, I appreciate it. Somebody said, Emily Shepard Art said, hi, hello. Oh. Hello, how you doing? Grace, yo. I've been seeing your what's it called? Popped. Grace! I hope you're still here, Grace. Hold on. Y'all. Alright. Camera B. Camera B. Oh, this thing collapsed. Interesting. Well, I'll still cruise with it in a second, but look, Grace. I got one of the OGs, yo. And then, you know, do you remember when we worked together on that little collaborative thing? I don't know if you remember this one, but I threw like one of those forms, like those cup forms, and then you carved into it, right? I think you also have, I made 2 of them. I think you have the other one, right? If you still do, but just kind of funny, like, you know, I always think about it. Camera C. Camera C. Oh, that's very nice of you. I have a couple. Yeah, I have quite a few things. I can show you something in a second, but let me work on this one for a little bit because it's like almost completely fallen over. But yeah, you know, Grace, I always think it's so funny because me and you, we both were not in ceramics department. You know what I mean? Like you were illustration and I was drawing. And then, you know, we both kind of got the pottery sickness. And so I was just kind of thinking about that and I thought it was pretty funny. And I always am looking at your, like, obviously I have some of like a lot of different people's stuff, but I always thought it was kind of funny to, especially after you popped off, it just made me think about your old stuff compared to like your new stuff. You've been killing it, yo. All right, so here we are. Oh yeah, camera B. I feel like this might be funny to see from camera B. Wait, hold on. Camera B. There we go. I know, that's how I was saying that it's just like right near me. Well, I keep a lot of just like random miscellaneous stuff, like if I ever want to show some people some things. But Grace, I wish you could see my my upstairs. Right now I'm at, like, I've made a little bit more than what is it called? Like 720, I think I'm right around, of these kind of tree forms, and so one of my whole entire rooms has been completely designated to being storage space, and so it's just kind of fun. And I saw that you also teach at maybe like an art center. I've been teaching at art centers as well, so I thought that that was also pretty interesting that we're kind of both in that stage right now. Here I go. I'm kind of pulling this out, y'all. It's kind of weird to throw with this right now, right? Because I'm still throwing that bottom edge, even though that top's completely collapsed. But these are the parts in ceramics that I think you can't just let, you can't let it, it's like completely fall, if that makes sense. So there's something about that in-between moment that it's in right now where it feels almost frozen that I think is really beautiful sometimes. So I like to let these ones kind of just cruise and keep on trying to work through it. I'm gonna curl these up. I feel like I'm gonna just want a space battle. I gotta love the Ratchet and Clank music, yo. Bring this over. Bring this over. Again, I wish I had my another screen over here so I could see every comments from people. But let me go over there for a second. Oh, thanks. Somebody said I rock. That's very nice. Oh, thank you. I really do like the green screen quite a bit. Yeah, for real, we can. Whenever I'm free, I'll send you a message and we can talk a little bit about stuff. That'd be pretty cool. But thank you for, stopping in. So funny again that your cups were right next to me. So pretty cool little moment. All right, here we go. Pushing this off. And so I'd say that this right here is going to be number one. Really liking how this looks on the inside there. It almost looks like an old record player with the horn or the bell, whatever they called it on it. Camera C. Camera C. There we go. Next we got our second one here. I'm going to try to start cruising on some of these, y'all. I'm going to read one more comment before I start, and then I'm going to zone in. Alrighty. Sweet. Okay, here we go. Lock in here. Alright, pointing at me. Camera B. Alright. The mission has been set. The goal is upward and beyond. Are you ready, cadets? Get in your space shuttles and let's cruise. Blast off to the sky. Blast off, number 2, go. Blast off, number 3. No, it's wobbly, sir. That's okay. Keep going. And they made it. Oh no, one of the cadets. He's gone a little bit off track. But it's okay. He parachuted and he's coming back down. He got back down safe. Alright, that's enough of that. Sometimes I think it'd be really cool, to make a whole entire storyline out of the pots that I'm making. Like each time I'm on the wheel, have a little story connected to what I'm doing. I'm already kind of theatrical with my my words and explanations on things, so I'm just wondering if maybe it'd be a good idea to kind of get fun with it. And maybe they'd be some cool videos for YouTube stuff maybe. Alright, going right to the bottom, carving that out. Maybe out there is okay. Smooth. Oh, okay, I went a little bit too much at that time. So that's pretty thin right there, so I gotta keep that in mind. I'm gonna slowly push some of this clay back inwards. There we go. So get that a little bit more on track. Get that llama pole, grip that up there. And it's a little bit off-center. I'm really feeling some of that off-centeredness right there. So I'm going back down to the bottom here. Taking my knuckle right to the bottom edge. Slowly bringing that in. And then I feel like on that bottom edge, when I brought it in, when I try to get more of that clay to come inward, I made a little cut into the clay and that did get sealed. So I feel like it's going to be really thin in one spot. So I'm going to kind of sit down at the bottom for a second and try to massage that out. Maybe if I push the clay downward, it'd be a good idea. Yeah, that's going to be rough to work with down there. Alright, let's just finish the pull here. Okay. Maybe I'll do a collar and so I don't put as much tension. Let's see how this is going to work. Get halfway up, switch down. Back down to the bottom here. Alright, we're doing one pull, but it's an equalizing pull, so a lot of pressure. I can already feel that bottom wanting to get really off though. That's okay. Really got a really crazy breath on these lines. Look at the lines on that middle part. I really kind of like shot off right there. So I'm actually going to do just a normal one on this one, because I think something cool is going to happen here. Okay, so here we go. We're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Lead those up. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 2, 6. All right, getting this middle part. We're going to use our whole hand a little bit to just start that twist low and slowly bring the pinkies out on this. Dang, kind of sad it didn't collapse a little bit lower. We could try to see if we want to force it a little bit. But realistically, let's just keep it. Because that's how it ended up, right? You don't want to hide some of that history of the pot, you know? Alright, I'm going to bring this out just a little bit. Going right up underneath. Look at that. Alright, I'm taking this, going over, pulling this out ever so slightly. Well, we got some weird thinness there, so we might not be able to do 2 pulls, but let's just see. Let's just check while we're down here. And also let's get some of that water out there. Oh, yeah, I shouldn't have done it. Barely saved by the bell. Okay, here we go. Maybe we'll get 4 out of this. Here we got 4. Okay, let's see what we can do with 4 tendrils. And we're not going to do anything crazy with them. We're just going to bring them up. And we're trying to get them a little bit higher, just so we can fill up some of that space on that bottom. You know, that bottom third is a little bit too light. So this is just going to give it some more life. Maybe have some of it curling off, right? Be open to that sort of stuff happening, right? Here we go. Right up the side of the pot. Have that curl off. Look at that. Great. Bring that in. Okay. Right at the bottom. Take that in. Go up. Right? And so we're really trying to get some more information on this middle part too, right? Trying to get you up more towards that twist, right? Try to lead that eye up there with a couple different visual things. Looks pretty interesting. Go right to the bottom, curl this off. Yeah, let's see. Let's look at this a little bit, y'all. I think this one justifies being looked at. Make a bong. That's so funny. Alright. Camera. Oh, wait. Hold on. I gotta turn this on first. I feel like the music is giving me evaluation after Space Cadet Camp. Alright. Green on. Green on. Hello, cadets. Today, we have a new pot. And I'm thinking this pot has some cool things. It has some things that we don't really like. But most importantly, it is baked with intention. If we look here, right at the bottom, we see the tendrils, long tendrils, about halfway up the pot there, right? Really guiding that viewer up to the middle section here. And then, if we walk over here and we look at this middle section, I think that was one of the things that we did wrong with this pot, is we made the veins of the tree, that's that twist, we did them a little bit too long in that bottom, like, half. I feel like I would have liked it if it was more gradual instead of so condensed, but it does add some tension there, right? The contrast between the looseness of the bottom and that tension in the middle is actually doing something, and I think it was preparing it for the top. And did I do successfully on this top? I don't think so. I think that this top, really, it had so much intention here for a little bit, and then I lost it halfway up. And I think that this one specifically, how cool it would have been if it would have completely opened up instead of came back in there. I think that would have been crazy. We didn't get to it though, but we're gonna keep on going forward. Thank you. Green off. How did I do, y'all? I feel like I presented that pretty good. Nice tendrils, awesome. All right, oh, I kicked it a little bit. Sorry about that. We're gonna kick that back. Camera C. Here's the inside. Oh, we gotta get our handy dandy clay flashlight here, y'all. And so those are the tendrils, or not the tendrils. I call these the veins, like these little, like the actual twist, I call those the veins of the tree, right? And these things on the bottom are the tendrils. And then this is the vortex on the inside. The vortex is looking really nice. So pretty interesting. We're gonna stop the wheel. We got one more pot for you guys. So let's get ready here. We're not messing around. This is the last pot. I'm gonna bring some nice close to the video here. Going down at the bottom. Camera B. That over there. All right. A bit of water. A bit more water. Okay, I'm pushing it right into the other hand and slowly going up. Nice. Starting our coning process. We're going up one more time. And you know what? I said we were gonna risk it. We're going one more time. Really be slow on this bottom. And if it starts twisting, remember you can always project it forward ever so slightly, then bring it back on center. And there you go. Right to the top. Get ready for the transition. Get some water, and then pull that up. Down. Get your hammer fist out. Hammer fist down. Use your body weight, and then bring that to your palm. Ever so slightly. Now we have it centered. Our hockey puck is enabled. We are slowly going to center it just a little bit more. Again, bringing that fist right to the palm of your hand. We actually kicked it off center a little bit there. You guys can see that. Start in the middle. Alright, not being too particular. I feel like that's close enough. We wanted it perfect, but I'm actually feeling it. Cutting along that bottom, I had a hard chunk. I just cut through it with my fingers, right? I'm not pushing the clay when I'm at that bottom area there. I'm really carving it out. Take that out. We're trying to just push some of this clay from the interior back to get some more strength to the walls. I'm going to be right on this section right here. I want to start getting some of that clay back down the inside there. And so there, I got a really nice even wall to start my pole with. And here we go. Llama biting down right on that rim. Thank you, llama. And llamas love volcanoes. And as we're going more narrow, did you see how I sped up, right? You got to think about it. All right, watch. Foot off the pedal. Right? Look at the distance traveled, right? When my finger stays in one spot, right? But look at the distance that's traveled, same speed, right? And so as you go more narrow, you actually have to speed your wheel up to keep that same distance traveled relative to a ratio, right? I hope that makes sense. Okay, back to the bottom, knuckle right at that bottom edge. Bring this in. Slowly bringing my knuckle right up the side of the pot here. Look at that. Okay. I'm going next. Pull. It's incoming. Back again with knuckle on the bottom. Being very slow. Allow each rotation to happen before I make a move, right? Some people, they move before it makes one full rotation. You really got to allow it to make one full rotation before you make a move. Nice. Okay. Right down the bottom, push this edge down. Oh. Alright, we gotta finish this pole no matter what now. Actually, we're gonna lighten up our pressure ever so slightly. The reason why is because we kind of missed that bottom. But let's equalize the layers. Just in case. Back to the bottom here. Pushing down with my finger. Okay, there we go. I think we got it. We're gonna hit a little bump out right over the finger. 2 fingers on the inside. You get out of here with that nonsense, yo. Look at that pole, man. Yo, I hope somebody was here for that one. Holy cow. If not, I'll put it in the YouTube shorts. But that thing felt like insane. No, nobody's here. Shit. So sad. That's okay. Dang, y'all. But that one felt good. Like, it felt like I was really carving the whole entire time. Oh, wait. Was somebody here? Oh, I'm so happy. Soto. Cheyenne Soto. Thank you so much. I'm glad you were here. That was like a moment. Yeah, I think you're the only one then. That was a moment that you shared with me as the maker, and you got to see that experience with a pot, right? I feel like that sort of stuff, everybody has like those things. Some people actually explained it to me in a fun way. They're like, yo, have you ever seen the movie Soul? And I was like, oh yeah. Everybody has their little like the trombone girl in that movie. I don't know if you watched it, but she has like this moment where she gets in like this flow, and it's just like really special, right? And so I feel like that was what that was for me just now. Yeah, I thought like what happened was there was some stuff on the bottom, and so a lot of like throwing, is just making sure that you don't go like too overboard, right? With complicating your process. And so kind of what I mean by that is, there's a lot of different factors: wheel speed, where you have your fingers positioned, how fast you're moving your hands up, right? But if you can really lock in, like, and make it so you can cut out some of the variables of the other stuff, right? Like keeping the walls relatively even before you even start a pull, so you don't have to change your pressure as much, right? So you take one thing out of the equation, and when you do that, you have less things that you have to, that bog down your mind, so you can really get like locked in there. So that's what kind of happened for the height on that one. I gotta get some more water. All right, camera C. Camera C. Sorry about that. I should have had this camera on the whole time. So I'm getting more water here. I think you said some more stuff. Let's see. I've seen the movie. Oh, okay. I see. All right. Sorry about that. I was just trying to read the comments. I really need to get a little camera for, or a little monitor for the chat, so I don't have to like go up and see. Or maybe I should just get the Google glasses. Have you seen those? Made me laugh. I feel like it'd be cool to imagine doing pottery with the Google glasses. Where's my sponge at, yo? Oh, it's right on the wheel? Alright. Sorry about that. I just needed to get some more water. Sometimes if you get like too much clay and not enough water in here, all of a sudden everything kind of feels like slimy rather than like water. And then it's hard to get the stuff, like the moisture out of the inside of the wheel. So I don't want to trap it in there. Okay. If I'm looking at this, I'm going to do something. This might ruin it, so sorry. But I just want to try something on this one, because it's so smooth. Right, and since it's so smooth, hoping that I can thin this out enough and make it look really like one. Alright, I got a lot of water there now. You see I'm adding water there, really trying to make it a little bit softer. So as I push out, it wants to just tuck right on that inside edge there. Oh, I ripped it ever so slightly. That's okay. We're still going to finish it even though it has a rip. Sometimes it can fall pretty cool. Keep our fingers kind of there for a little bit. Slow it down. Allow it to sort of rip off. And let's see what happens here. And then slowly stop. And so it's kind of ripping and taking that top off, but we made it look like the rip a little bit more weird, right? It's not just, it almost looks like somebody tried to pick it up from this top edge, right? And lift it off the pot and it ripped and tore, but there's no disruption of fingers on this top edge. So camera B. And so you can kind of see, I almost want to set something like in this spot here to kind of take that out. And so something about like my pots too is like, they're not like necessarily vases. There's not really a function. The function is baked within the opportunities of the pot, right? This like twist can help support that top in an interesting way because each one of these veins are like laying on one another, right? So it adds like a bunch more thickness and sturdiness there, right? So there's a cool function to these sculptural pots because they can allow for every pot, even though it's a similar sort of rhythm, have different highlighted aspects for each time you throw one, right? And so I always think of it, it's like a genre of music or like an album. And each one of these is a song on that album. They all have a different vibe, but they're important to be, you know, seen as like a group, right? But right now I'm making them all individually until I get them all ready. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We'll do one. Kind of messed it up on that end, but I wanted to get 6 in there. Wow. Look at that. Kind of trying to be really intentional. How these spirals are going up the sides of the pots. So make them look really fluid. Bring that in. Bring this out. Bring that in. Bring this out. Bring that in. Bring this out. Alright. Cool. And so that's the third one. That's the final one for today. I'll bring out all of them. We got to get them all ready for the thumbnail. But camera C. Camera C. There we go. So I'll set this one here. I think I saw you type a few things, so I'll go over there for a moment. Oh, thanks. Impossible to keep cleaning this medium, for real. Oh yeah, that's, thank you. You know, I teach different groups of people, like all ages, and so it's kind of funny to like, the same way that I teach like a kid, I give like a lot of examples, like, you know, like when I was doing that, when I was first pulling, it's your little llama, you know, he has got a bite on that edge, and then llamas love volcanoes. Like I try to really like think of like images, like even a kid could kind of imagine, right? And I teach adults with those same words. And then somebody last night that I was teaching, he's like, you know, as a visual learner, I really appreciate the way you talk about ceramics. And I was like, huh, I never really thought about that. I just did it because it's like, for me, it makes the process a little bit more cool. Like when you're making hundreds and hundreds of the same, they're not the same, but the same rhythm, like a bunch of songs, you like start to bake in little fun moments, right? It makes the process more enjoyable if you can be like, oh, there's that llama pull, ha ha ha, right? Camera A. How's this looking? Oh my gosh, this looks epic. It looks like an eagle. Holy shit, this looks so cool. I hope y'all can see this. This thing looks crazy. That's so funny. All right, hold on, I gotta get over there. Green on. Hello everybody. These are the pots for today. They were very, very, I don't know, value filled for me today. I really enjoyed making them. I think every one of them had a cool little problem that ended up becoming emphasized in, I think, kind of a cool way, right? If we look at the top, that collapse looked so, like normally when you see collapse, it's not necessarily a good thing, right? But when it collapsed over, still kept its form, leaned on there and had some personality, and we really let it talk a little bit more, I think that one just turned out so crazy, right? I think it really has like that, like a record bell horn thing going on, and it looks like the two ears from Ratchet are making it like an eagle or something, right? There's something really crazy about the image that we're seeing here too with this background. And then if I go over to the, I can't really tell. Oh yeah, this way. Sorry, I kind of get disorientated because it mirrors itself. Okay, but if we go over here, if I'm looking at this one, those tendrils, right, were a little bit, like they had to be long because I didn't go properly, like collapse the veins because there's a lot more of a twist near the top. You guys kind of see that? And so when you get to that little twist, it adds some cool contrast, but I feel like there wasn't a lot of contrast in the bottom, so I really allowed those tendrils to be explored and a little bit taller, and I think that kind of addressed it in an okay way. Still not the best pot of the day, right? But then, you know, if we go to this pot right here, I think that this, this one has got to be the one for today. Like, even the tear is a little bit weird, right? But I think it's really doing it some favors if you look at it from above. I think it gives just enough interest on like a pretty normal pot, so it gives some more intention with those other aspects. Like the twist seems pretty perfect, right? The bottom tendrils, they're very organized, a lot more intentional than what I normally do on those, right? Usually I'd be a little bit more loose, like the one over here, the tendrils are a little bit more loose, right? And so it allows for that rip on the top to really start feeling more intentional and thought about rather than just a mistake, right? Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. All the best and strong mentality.